Hello everyone, welcome back once again. This is Amresh Chandra Meher, your computer science and IT lecturer. So students, in the last video lecture, we have discussed about for a databases, next your what is DBMS and about RDBMS also, along with the advantages of DBMS. Okay? So, today in this video lecture, we will discuss about DBMS terminology. That means some terms that we are using frequently while using RDBMS, that is a Relational Database Management System. Okay, so the first term is domain. So again, one thing I am telling you, that whatever I have written here, you can follow it as your notes. Okay, I have used very simple language so that you can understand very easily. So the first term is domain. Domain means set of permissible values for a particular column. So the type of data that a column can take, those are called the domain. Okay, for example, suppose your class teacher is maintaining your database. So he maintains roll number of all the students, their names, along with their address, their contact number, their father name, their mother name, all of these. Okay? So for roll number, they will enter integer type of data. That means in most of the cases, your roll numbers are like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So these are integer values. Okay, these 1, 2, 3, 4, all these values are integer type values. So for that means for roll number, you have to set the data type as integer. That means all the integer values are permitted for the column roll number. So the permissible values here are all integer values, positive integer values. Okay, so all the positive integer values are the domain for the column roll number. Next, consider about another column, that is name. So here you are entering textual data. Okay, that means your name may be Gopal, Aryan, whatever may be. All your name consists of alphabets. Okay, for that you have to take character. Okay, we will discuss in another video lecture about data types. Okay, so the permissible values for a particular column are called domain. Okay, next comes to tables. Or relations. Okay, so a table is a database object where all data are logically organized in the format of rows and columns, similar to a spreadsheet. So tables are database objects. That means our relational database management system contains some tables. Okay, if the amount of data is not very large, and if you are feeling comfort to store all the data in a single table, then one table is sufficient. But if the amount of data are very large, then it is easy to handle by creating more than one tables. Okay? When the amount of data are very large, then if you store all those data in multiple tables, then it is easy to handle all those tables. Okay, because day by day the amount of data will grow up. Okay, and most of the times you may need to update your data also while editing. You have to enter new data. You may need to delete some old data which you require no more. Okay, so for that reason creating more tables is also sometimes good to maintain database, easy to handle. Okay, so in database terminology, tables are also called relations. Okay, so you can say that you can say each table has one relation, and the number of tables, number of relations that you can create based on the amount of data and how you feel comfort to handle. There is no limitations that how many number of relations or tables you can create, but you should have sufficient space, okay, to store all the tables. And the tables in a database are related to each other. All the tables, all the relations, whatever we create, all those tables should relate to each other. Why? Why we link all those tables? Because already I have told you that we store different data in different tables, and we may require data from more than one tables. So retrieving the data from more than one tables, or you can say fetching of data from more than one tables, we have to link all those tables. Without linking, we can't retrieve data from more than one tables. Okay? So for retrieving data, we need to link all the tables in a database. I hope you all are understanding. Okay? If you feel if any type of doubt comes in your mind, then you can mention in the comment section. Okay? So here I have given one example by taking a table. You can see in the screen. Okay, my table name is student. Here I have 4 columns: roll number, name, address, and contact number. Okay, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the data values for roll number, and different names I have taken here for name. For address also I have taken the name of different towns. Okay. Next, for contact number, again I have taken some data here. Okay. Another term is record. So what is record? Each row in a table is called a record, which contains data about a particular entity. An entity means any type of object. So comes to our table. Here I have taken 5 rows. Okay. Here I have taken 5 rows. Let us consider about row number 1. row number. Let us consider first row. Okay, so for first row the roll number is 1, name of the student is Adarsh Mishra, his address is Gorakhpur, and his contact number is 8825768215. So all this data it point out about a single entity, that is for Adarsh Mishra. Okay, so likewise all other row also, other rows, that means row number 2, row number 3, and row number 4 and 5. In my case, based on our example, that will represent one record. Okay, so each row in a table is called a record, and each record contains data about a particular entity. Okay, entity means whatever you can see in this world, everything is entity. Okay, you are one entity, book is one entity, your pen is one entity, your table, chair, everything, whatever you can see, anything that has existence, all those things are called entity or object. Okay, next comes to the term field. So what is field? Field is a database so a database field is a set of data values of the same data type in a table. Okay, a database field is a set of data values of the same data type. So a database field is a set of data values of the same data type in a table. Like we have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these things for roll number. So roll number is a field. Okay. Next, for name we have taken different names. So all those names constitute another field. Next, we have taken addresses of different students. All those addresses constitute another field. Okay. So likewise, you can say any data values for any particular column that constitute your field. Okay. Next, come to the term key. What is key? Key means it is a set of attributes that can uniquely identify a row or tuple. Attribute or a set of attributes which can uniquely identify a row or tuple. So in our cases, let us come to the table. Here I have taken roll number. So if I'll call you along with the roll number won't stand up, that means only one student will stand up. That means it will point out to Adarsh Mishra only. Likewise, whenever I will ask for roll number 5, then it will point out to another student with the name Gulshan Kumar. Okay. So your roll number column, it can uniquely identify all the entities present here. Okay. Let us come to the second column, that is about name. Here also we have unique values for the column name. Adarsh Mishra, Sujal Prajapati, Dinesh Yadav, Sachin Pandey, Gulshan Kumar, all are unique. So through name also we can uniquely identify each record or each entity. Okay, so you can take any column from your tables as your key, but that column should have unique values. Values should not be repeated there. Okay, so here for roll number we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all values are unique. In case of name also, all the names are unique. Suppose let's consider two students have the same name, Dinesh Yadav. In that case, you can't take name as your key because that column contains duplicate values. Okay, same values are repeated. So you can take any column as key, but that column should have unique values. Then only we can uniquely identify each column. Okay, so the purpose of taking key is to identify uniquely each record. Okay, so now let's consider about different types of keys. Let us consider about different types of keys. So first one is a candidate key. Candidate key means a candidate key is an attribute or set of attributes that can uniquely identify a row. Okay. So any attribute or set of attributes which can uniquely identify each row can be taken as can be considered as candidate key. Okay, so in a table you may have more than one candidate key. Okay, so in our cases you can see in that screen also, roll number, it contains all unique values. Name also contains unique values. Address have repeated values. That means Gorakhpur has repeatedly written here. Okay. Contact number has unique values. So you can take roll number as the candidate key, name also candidate key, and contact number column also candidate key. Only address will not satisfy it to be eligible for candidate key. Okay, so the column which have unique values, those columns are satisfied for to be a candidate key. So here we have roll number, name and contact number. These three columns are satisfying to be candidate key. Okay. Next, what is primary key? So among all those candidates key, what is primary key? Among all those candidate keys, we have to take one candidate key as the primary key. Okay, so which column we have to take that depend on the database administrator. Okay, suppose you are creating the database, then you can choose any column, any candidate key as the primary key. Okay, so you can say you have to choose primary key from the candidate keys. Next, what is alternate key? The candidate keys of a table which are not selected as the primary key are called its alternate keys. So among all the candidate keys, you have to select one candidate key as the primary key, and after choosing one candidate key as the primary key, the rest of the candidate keys will be that will be called alternate key. Okay. So here another example I have taken. The table it contains table name is student. Okay. It contains admission number, roll number, name, class, section, dues. Look at the column. Look at different columns of this table. Okay. So in that table, you can take admission number, roll number, and name as candidate keys. Okay. Why? Because that can be used to identify uniquely each record or each row. Okay. So in this case, if you want to use admission number as the primary key, then roll number and name will be the alternate keys. Another term is foreign key. So what is foreign key? A foreign key is a field in one table that refers to the primary key in another table. Okay. A foreign key is a field in one table that refers to the primary key in another table. So the data types in both the cases will be same. Both the cases means the data types of foreign key field and the data types of primary key in another table. Data types of foreign key field in one table and data types of primary key field in another table that should be matched. Okay. And the only purpose of creating foreign key is to link the two or more relations. Okay. So by using foreign key only, we can retrieve data from more than one tables. Otherwise, it is not possible to retrieve data from more than one tables. Got it, everyone? Okay. The table with the primary key is called the reference table, and the table with the foreign key is called the referencing table. Okay. So the table which contains primary key is called reference table. These are the terms that we are using in RDBMS. Okay. And the table that contains the foreign key is called referencing table. Here also I have taken example so that you can understand easily. One table I have taken as customer. Okay. Here you have customer ID, name and age as our fields. In another table, the table name is order table, and here also I have taken order ID, order number and customer ID. So the customer ID column in the order table points to the customer ID column in the customer table. So the customer ID column in the customer table is the primary key in the customer table, and the customer ID column in the order table is a foreign key in the order table. Okay. So as I have told you, the values of foreign key should be one of the values from the primary key of reference table. That means whatever value foreign key contains, that should be present in the primary key of the reference table. Otherwise, it will not work and we can't retrieve data from more than one tables. Okay. That means what I want to tell you that if the values will mismatch, then it is impossible to retrieve data. For that reason, whatever values foreign key field contains, that values should be always present in the foreign key values. Okay. Next comes to the another important term, that is MySQL. So what is MySQL? It is one type of RDBMS software, relational database management system software. Okay, which is easily available in the internet. Okay. So this is one open source software. You can download it easily without paying anything. Okay, and MySQL is developed by David Exmark, Alan Larson, and Michael Wardnius. Okay, so MySQL, it is developed in Sweden by David Exmark, Alan Larson, and Michael Wardnius. And you will work with MySQL software. Next thing is that we have to discuss is categories of SQL commands. Okay, what are the different types of SQL commands? So basically we have four types of SQL commands. First one is data definition language commands. Next one is data manipulation language command. Next is data control language commands, and at last we have transaction control language commands. But students, in your syllabus you have only data definition language commands and data manipulation language commands. So data definition language command is used to define the structure of the database. Okay, that means to create different tables in your database, to delete the table in your database, to defining the different key, that means primary key, foreign key, all those keys. And if you want to enforce any type of constraints in the table, then for all those things you have to use data definition language commands. Here also I have given you some examples. Those comes under your data definition language commands. Okay, those are your create command, that means create database, create table commands, alter table commands. Alter table commands you have to use for modifying the table structure. That means if you want to add a new column, if you want to delete any old column, if you want to change the data type of any column, then also you can use alter table commands. Okay, then for deleting any table or database you have to use drop table command. Okay, next comes to data manipulation language command. So data manipulation language command is used to manipulate the database. Manipulate means here retrieving the data from your database. If you want to edit and then update, then you can do all these things using data manipulation language command. If you want to delete some rows or you can say some data value from the table, then you can use data manipulation language command. If you want to insert new data, then also you can use your data manipulation language command. So here also I have given you some examples. So the different commands that comes under data manipulation language commands are select, update, delete and insert into. So students, I will show you how these commands works. Okay, I will share my laptop screen also so that you will get some practical knowledge. First I will describe about how the command works, and then I will show you practically. That means I will share my computer screen with you so that you can understand easily. So for that reason, to get new videos, you can subscribe my channel and press the bell icon also. Okay, so that you can get rest of the video also. And in the next video we will discuss about the different data types that we use for different columns or for different fields. So thank you students. Join for next videos. Join in the next video. Okay. Thank you.